Hey, everyone. What do you think of the new intro? I'm trying some things out. Y'all know I like to do fancy stuff all the time. So, welcome back. I'm glad that you are here for my favorite new moon of the year. I mean, they're all pretty good, but today we're going to be talking about the new moon in Pisces. And I don't know about you, but since we've been in this Pisces energy, I don't know, it feels so like magical. I mean, magical is just the word. It's the word for Pisces. It's the energy that I've been feeling, and hopefully you are feeling that too. And this new moon, is all about setting intentions for ourselves. It's the dark time where we get to go within and start making plans, right? Plans for how we're going to move forward. And once we get out of this Pisces season, we're going to kind of start this cycle all over again, right? So Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It is the culmination of everything, right? It is the all the signs, all the energy kind of wrapped in one. And if you think about like cycles and you think about coming to the end of a cycle or growing into a cycle and learning your lessons as you go through, Pisces is like we've learned everything now. We went from, you know, learning about ourselves, with Aries, which we're getting ready to start over again. You start with learning about yourself and how you are engaging with the world, and then you learn more about, okay, this is who I am now that I'm showing up in my life. And then you start to learn, oh, how do I make a difference in my world? And you get to this time with Pisces where all of that learning, all of that knowledge, you're kind of bringing full circle. And a lot of the fears that you had before um, get to either be eliminated, or the things that the younger you, right, the newer version of your learning wasn't ready for, maybe was scared of. But now that you know yourself more and you've seen yourself in the world more, now you can really start to feel like that confidence, that strength that comes with Pisces. Pisces is all about like this dreamy, like I said, magical is just the word. I mean, I love the word, but it's the word that comes to mind. And it's just getting to a space where you are able to really take that leap of faith because you've gotten all these lessons, right? You've lived all this life. And it's taking that wisdom that that you've gained from your experience and from learning new things, and it's really moving that forward, right? Being able to start something new, right? Preparing for what's next is going to be really important right now. And it's also a time for us to, part of that wisdom, it's time for us to start using that to remind ourselves that the things that we were stuck in, right? The perfection syndrome that you may have that's kept you stuck. Now is the time to really recognize that your imperfection is what makes you perfect, right? And so I really want you to start thinking about, what all that means to you, right? What this Pisces energy, how you are feeling that in your own life. And now is the time to start getting ready to, again, new moon is setting intention. So we want to start preparing for not just how can we take this leap of faith, how can we just take this next step, but how can we do it in this big magical way, right? How can we be a little more over the top? How can we let our dreams kind of lead the way and not be as rigid maybe as we've been before? Um, you might feel like I feel like something that is coming up for a lot of people I've been talking to is um, this need to, I'm going to say escape, this need to, this desire to want to not be where they've been, right? Not, I don't want to say not be in the world, like anything detrimental. I mean, feeling like you wanna disconnect because you're so beyond, like, the foolish, mundane stuff that's happening around us, right? Again, we are, like, filled with all of this wisdom and confidence, right, that comes with that, that there may be a part of you that really wants to disconnect with the everyday quite a bit more. You may really be feeling pulled, um to escape some realities a little bit. And there's a time and a place for that, of course. Just don't lose yourself, right? Don't a lot of times with Pisces energy, people will, some astrologers will talk about, like, drugs and alcohol used as like an escape tool. So, you don't necessarily want to get caught up in anything that's going to harm you, but just know that if you're feeling that it's okay, right? That is this energy. The more you are allowing yourself to dream and connect with your intuition, you know, the more that energy is going to really manifest in you. And so it's interesting. I have this like calendar on my desk, and it's from Abraham Hicks, and every day is like a new little piece of wisdom. And I'll just read you what it says for tomorrow for the new moon. And it says, your feelings are the representatives of your guidance system. In other words, the way you feel is your true indicator of your alignment with your source and of your alignment with your own intentions, right? So if you think about connecting to your feelings, right? Connecting to your intuition, you have feelings that are trying to tell you something, that are trying to lead you down a path. And it's really important for you to align yourself with that, understand why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, and what the signal is there, what the sign is that you are meant to be paying attention to, because that's how you really start to align yourself, right? Taking all of this Pisces, wisdom, moving that forward, you're going to feel that. Pisces is a water sign. You're going to feel that. And for those of you who, may not be a water sign, right? Your sun sign may not be a water sign. You may not have a lot of water signs in your chart. The emotional piece can feel really overwhelming. If you're not accustomed to taking the time for yourself to connect to your emotions, now is the absolute perfect time to do that, because they really are screaming at you. They're, on high alert, giving you the signals of what you need to be doing and how to help you process. And so I really want you to take the time to sit with that, and as you're sitting and setting intentions, which again is what we're going to do for the new moon, we are making a plan. And so there are kind of three things that I thought of would make a lot of sense for us to set our intentions around. And I'm going to be super woo with this today. And it really starts with you, number one, acknowledging your magic. Right now, you can interpret magic however you want to, but magic is this gift, the gift that you have naturally, the thing that you are amazing at, the thing that brings you joy when you do it. There is no one thing that that everyone has the same magic, and we can all kind of, pinpoint, oh, it's this, it looks like this. It looks like whatever it looks like for you, right? The trick is for you to check in, right? Check in with who you are, again, what brings you joy, what you love doing, and acknowledge it, right? Write it down. journal about it, put it on a billboard, put it on a post-it note, but really identify what your magic is. Right? It doesn't have to be a job. It doesn't have to be anything someone else told you about. It's the thing that brings you joy when you do it, and you know that you do it amazingly well. Even if I hear from a lot of people that, they will mention something that they think is like mundane. Like, oh, I know how to, connect people. And that's an amazing gift. So many people don't have that. And a lot of times we don't recognize our magic because it comes so natural to us, it doesn't seem special, but it is. So intention setting, number one is going to be to acknowledge your magic. And then two, I want you to make time for that magic, right? Once you identify what it is, I want you to be really intentional. Set up a plan to spend more time doing it, being in that energy, right? If in that example, let's say you are amazing, your magic is connecting people to each other, to um, resources. If that's your gift, if that's your magic, if that's the thing that comes supernatural to you, and you can do it more. Do it more, not because someone's paying you to do it, right? Do it for your own purposes because you love it, because it's your gift. Be intentional about separating it out and using it for you. Okay. And then number three, I want you to share your magic with others. So your magic may not be connecting people, it may not be something that uh, involves collaboration with other people naturally. But when I say I want you to share your magic, be intentional about how am I going to share this gift that I have, even if you start with just telling people about it, telling one person about it, tell me about it, right? If it feels weird to you, tell me about it. Tell me what your gift is, right? Get comfortable talking about it so that you can start using it more, right? Because all of this that we're doing here on this planet in this lifetime really needs to come back to you finding your magic and using it, right? Because that saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. You don't necessarily lose your magic, but it gets harder and harder to tap into, right? So as you start to share your magic, even if that baby step is, again, just telling one person about it, and then tell someone else, right? And then tell someone else, and then maybe use it with someone else, right? Grow into that. But just start with that first step of just sharing it with someone else, right? Um, it just feels, like I said, this Pisces energy just feels so it feels so grounding, right? When you're able to really just think about, again, like, what have I learned? What have I experienced? How am I embracing and holding all of these things that I've learned about myself, and I've learned about myself in the world, right? How can I really just sit with all of that, sit with all of my goodness, sit with all of what makes me amazing? How can I really sit with that, spend more time doing that and sharing that with other people, right? That's really what I want you to do for this new moon in Pisces. And, I feel like the cards needed to give you a little message. And so just before I got on, I pulled a card. I'm going to switch over so that you can see it for a moment. Um, and it's here in this Four of Swords. And you might look at this card and instinctively, I know often people will see this card and either be leery about it or feel isolation from it. But really, when I look at this card and thinking about who we are, how we are showing our magic, how we can show our magic, This is taking the opportunity to reflect on that first point that I want you to make for yourself, acknowledging your magic, right? This person is there. People, wolves are on the outside, like watching, protecting, allowing space for this magic to manifest. But this person is just there with their own thoughts and letting happen whatever needs to happen. I really was drawn to this little shoe here, with the candle in it. And again, being intentional of, yes, I'm making this like a sacred moment for myself to sit with this, right? This is the both acknowledging your magic and making time for it, right? And then the hope would be, I guess, afterwards, especially with those wolves there, I'll switch back. The hope then would be to share it with those around you, share it with the people who you don't even recognize are protecting you and there for you. Share it with them. You may have onlookers who are just hovering around you and they don't know what to say or how to engage. They don't know what your magic is and they need to know. Now is the time to let folks know what makes you so freaking amazing because you are. So I think that's it. That's the important message that I really felt like I needed to share with you guys today was just allowing your allowing this magic to just really be out there, right? Pisces season is the time. There's not enough woo in the world to fully encompass Pisces energy. And again, this is the time. This is the end of this cycle, right? Next month, well, later this month, we're going to move into Aries season, and so that cycle starts all over again, right? We go back to that early energy of just focusing on ourselves and learning about ourselves and how we're starting out, how we're starting something new. So now is the time, right, to really just harness all of that goodness about ourselves and make a plan of how we're going to put that more out into the world. So I'll leave you with that. Let me know. Let me know what your magic is. I love hearing about it. That's all that I ask people when I meet people. I don't ask you what you do, how you do it. What's your magic? What makes you freaking magical? So make sure you let me know about it. And I hope this was helpful for you. I'd love to hear from you. And stay magical, y'all. Click on your